the 40-ton heads dragged across a jungle. Imagine this: colossal stone faces, some over 11 feet tall, somehow transported across miles of dense Mesoamerican wilderness. These weren't mere carvings, they were monumental achievements by a civilization that predates the Maya and Aztecs by over 1,000 years. We're talking about the Olmec, the earliest known major civilization in this region, whose artistry and ambition are etched in basalt. They quarried the stone, shaped these immense portraits, and then, without the wheel, without draft animals as we know them, moved them to their ceremonial centers. The sheer effort involved is staggering, a logistical puzzle that still baffles engineers and archaeologists today. Who were these stone giants meant to represent, and why undertake such a Herculean task? The jungle canopy conceals more than just ancient ruins. It hides the answers to how and why. The mystery begins with the raw material itself. These monumental heads are carved from massive blocks of basalt, a volcanic rock notoriously difficult to quarry and shape. The nearest known basalt sources are located in the Tuxtla Mountains, a range that lies at least 30 miles, and often much more, from the major Olmec sites like San Lorenzo and La Venta. Olmec artisans had to extract these gargantuan stones, some weighing up to 40 tons, using primitive tools likely made of harder stone. This process alone would have required immense labor and sophisticated knowledge of the rock's fracture points. The selection of basalt, a material so challenging to work with, suggests a deliberate choice, a desire for permanence and imposing presence that mundane limestone or sandstone could not provide. They chose the hardest path, and the evidence is literally set in stone. Transporting these monoliths presents the most profound enigma. How did the Olmec move blocks weighing as much as a modern semi-truck across uneven terrain, dense jungle, and potentially rivers, without the wheel or beasts of burden? Theories abound. Massive wooden rollers, causeways built from earth and timber, a vast workforce pulling on ropes made from plant fibers. Some researchers suggest leveraging natural water channels, floating the stones on rafts during the rainy season. Each hypothesis demands incredible feats of organization, engineering, and sheer manpower, involving hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals. The lack of definitive evidence for any single method leaves a void where ingenuity should be, forcing us to consider the scale of cooperation and the level of social organization achieved by this ancient society. The jungle floor has long since reclaimed most of the evidence of their transit routes. The faces themselves are not generic, they are distinct portraits. Each colossal head features unique characteristics, varied helmet styles, different facial proportions, and individual expressions. This specificity has led scholars to believe they represent specific rulers or important ancestors, not mythical deities or abstract concepts. The Olmec civilization flourished between approximately 1500 BCE and 400 BCE, and these heads are thought to date primarily from the early and middle pre-classic periods. The faces possess a distinctive, almost pugnacious look, with thick lips and broad noses, characteristics sometimes associated with modern indigenous peoples of the region, fueling debates about Olmec ethnicity and identity. The individuality of each head suggests a society that valued and memorialized its leaders, commissioning these lasting monuments to their power and legacy. The purpose behind these monumental sculptures remains shrouded in speculation. Were they markers of territory, monuments to deceased rulers, or perhaps representations of ball players from a ritualistic game? The lack of accompanying inscriptions, unlike later Mesoamerican civilizations, means we cannot simply read their meaning. Their placement in ceremonial centers suggests a public, perhaps religious function. Some theories propose they served as warnings or symbols of authority to neighboring groups. The sheer cost in resources and labor implies a profound significance, a core belief system or social imperative that drove the Olmec to dedicate so much to their creation and placement. Without written records, we are left to interpret the silent testimony of stone, a language we are still struggling to fully decipher. The Olmec civilization vanished, leaving behind these enigmatic stone heads as their most enduring legacy. The sites were eventually abandoned, the reasons for their decline as mysterious as their construction. Was it environmental change, warfare, or societal collapse? We may never know the full story. What remains are the colossal heads, silent witnesses to a lost world, challenging us with their sheer existence. They stand as testaments to an ancient people's ambition, organizational prowess, and artistic vision. But the precise methods of their creation and transport, and the ultimate meaning they held for the Olmec themselves, remain locked away in the jungle's embrace, a profound and persistent puzzle of the ancient world.